as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the sleepy town of Whispering Pines. I found myself recalling an unsettling chapter from my early days as a psychiatric nurse in the remote heartland of Montana. It was a time when I still clung to the belief that science could explain everything before I encountered the enigma that was Benjamin Granger. My career had brought me to a residential mental health facility nestled amidst the rugged beauty of Montana. It was a place far removed from the bustling city life I had known. Here, the isolation was palpable, and the eerie silence that blanketed the town seemed to seep into the very marrow of one's bones. One of our residents, a man known as Benjamin Granger, was the subject of my most unsettling memories. He was an elective mute, a term I had never encountered until then. It meant that he had the ability to speak, but chose not to. A veil of silence enveloped him, shrouding his past and obscuring the source of his torment. Benjamin had not always been this way. In his earlier life, he had been a man of normal speech and demeanor, save for the fact that he stood at a towering height of nearly 7 feet. Born and raised in the quiet town of Whispering Pines, he had enlisted in the military at the age of 19. But one fateful night, he simply vanished without a trace. The military declared him AWOL, and as the years rolled on, he was eventually declared missing and presumed dead, a decade later, as the chill of autumn descended upon Whispering Pines, a hulking figure, almost ethereal in its appearance, strode into the emergency room of the local VA hospital. The receptionist looked up in surprise as the man's towering frame loomed over the counter. In a voice as cold as the Montana winter, he uttered his name. "My name is Samuel Blackwell, and I've been dead for 10 years. Those were the last words Samuel Blackwell ever spoke. He appeared as though he had emerged from the depths of a forgotten grave, coated in a fine layer of dust, and clad in the same clothes he had been reported to be wearing on the night of his vanishing. Oddly, there was no sign of aging on his face. He looked as he did on that fateful night a decade ago. His social security number had remained untouched, and no identification was found on his person. It was only through his fingerprints that his true identity was confirmed. The news of Samuel's return sent shockwaves through the town, but his family's reaction was nothing short of chilling. When notified of his reappearance, they vehemently denied that he could be their lost kin. They claimed that they had mourned Samuel's loss long ago, and that this imposter, who stood before them now, was nothing but a macabre apparition. They demanded that they be left in peace and not be plagued by further inquiries. In the confines of our mental health facility, Samuel became a constant source of intrigue and dread. He paced ceaselessly, his lips moving as though he were engaged in a conversation only he could hear. Occasionally, he would throw his head back, his mouth agape, mimicking the act of hearty laughter, yet not a sound escaped his lips. It was as though he danced on the precipice of the living and the dead, caught in a nightmarish limbo. The medical staff, myself included, were at a loss. Various medications were administered, each one as ineffective as the last. Occupational therapy proved futile. Samuel would simply grin, rise from his chair, and resume his relentless pacing. His unnerving behavior took a toll on the staff, shrouding the facility in an aura of disquiet. On what would be my last day at the facility, I found myself gazing out of the window, my eyes drawn to Samuel as he roamed the facility's grounds. There he was, pacing in the fading light, his silhouette a stark contrast against the Montana landscape. He threw his head back in that eerie mimicry of laughter, and I couldn't help but shudder. In the years that followed, long after I had left Whispering Pines, the enigma of Samuel Blackwell continued to haunt me. I often found myself questioning the nature of his existence. Was he a man caught between realms, a specter from the past returned to the living? Or was there a more sinister truth that eluded my understanding? Whispering Pines had a way of keeping its secrets, and Samuel's return remained an enigma buried deep within the heart of Montana. To this day, I wonder if I had, in fact, encountered a ghost in the form of a man, or if there existed a darker, unfathomable reality lurking in the shadows of that quiet town. It is a mystery that endures, etched into the annals of my memory, a testament to the eerie and the unexplained that can be found in the remote corners of the United States, waiting to be discovered by those who dare to venture into the unknown.